In the vast world of Hollywood, stories about the fame and personal lives of stars are always hotspots that attract the attention of many fans. In today's video episode, we will explore an interesting and not disturbing story: the journey of Vietnamese boy Pax Thien, the adopted son of famous actress Angelina Jolie. Pax Thien was adopted by Angelina Jolie 17 years ago, and during that time, his life has undergone tremendous change. He has grown up, and this leads to many questions. How is Pax Thien now? How is your daily life? And how did Angelina Jolie's family life influence him? In this video episode, we will not only delve into Pax Thien's current life but also learn about his past and Vietnamese roots. Pax Thien, real name Pham Quang Sang, born in 2003, is the adopted son of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Being adopted by two famous Hollywood artists, it is not difficult to understand that from a young age, he as well as other siblings in the family were enthusiastically interested and sought after by the media. Before having a full life like now, few people know that Pax Thien experienced a turbulent life in his childhood. Accordingly, he was born prematurely and weighed only 2.1 kilograms. At just 2 days old, his mother abandoned him at the hospital, leaving behind only a birth certificate with the child's name and unpaid hospital fees. He was then taken to the Tam Bin Orphanage Protection Center, HCMC. However, his fate really changed after being adopted by Angelina Jolie. According to Daily Mail, during a trip to Vietnam in 2006, Angelina Jolie and her ex-husband Brad Pitt visited the orphanage where he was living. The couple was impressed with Sang because he was the only child who was afraid to run out and ask for candy like his friends. Not long after that, Quang Sang was adopted by a famous Hollywood couple and given the new name Pax Thien, meaning peaceful sky. From here, the orphan boy's life turned to a new page. Pax Thien's biological mother and the sadness of white clouds. Someone said, "Human life is like a river, there are always creatures around called destiny." At this time, at Dam Market, Nha Trang, it is confirmed that Pham Tu Dung is also heartbroken when she sees her son Pham Quang Sang Pax Thien, now named Jolie-Pitt, returning to visit his homeland with his adoptive parents, but was unable or not allowed to visit her mother. She left it in a corner of the hospital in the exhaustion and complications of a chaotic life. And she also didn't know that one day, her child would be adopted by a famous Hollywood family like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. "I abandoned it, I didn't think it was still alive, I was wrong," Pham Tu Dung cried. The little woman thought time would help her forget, but it seemed like a pain, forcing her to live quietly and repent. She lives in wait, maybe in vain, waiting for her child to return, like white clouds flying back to the mountain of birth. But if the road is far away, will the white clouds fly back? It is impossible to imagine the Pham Tu Dung of today with the image of a schoolgirl 15 years ago. At that time, Dung was called an official student, studied well in all subjects and was especially pampered by her parents. Her father is a sailor on an ocean ship and is often away from home. Taking care of the children is entrusted to her mother. Tu Dung recalls, when she entered high school, she indulged herself in playing, her friends surrounded her to go out and she continued. While in high school, she wasn't sure she could continue studying at university because of missing school and having fun. Around 1995, Dung was 18 years old and became a regular customer at big dance clubs such as Thai Sun and My Man, where he was addicted to alcohol, beer, and drugs. If he saw anyone who had an itchy eye, he would beat them mercilessly. The fights were constant, and the next day, Dung even forced the person who was beaten to bring money for coffee to atone for his mistake. A group of young men, around 20 or so, rented a house in District 3, Ho Chi Minh City to live. And Dung often does not return home to Tu Duc, she stays in this room with her friends. A few years later, that group dispersed, some died from drug shock, others died from HIV infection, and the rest were sent to rehab. Dung recalls that at that time, she had nothing to worry about. Dad went on a cruise ship, brought money and gold home and kept it in a cupboard. Dung's mother sells goods at the market, a prosperous material life. Dung stole a set of locker keys. Whenever he ran out of money, he would open it and take the money. When he ran out of money, he would sell the gold to spend. In 11th grade, Dung was no longer a good child, going to nightclubs, drinking and smoking all day. But no one in Dung's family thinks so. No one believes that the once obedient girl has become a school horse and fallen. Ba Dung was the most shocked when he learned that his addicted daughter had to be taken to rehab in Binh Tru, Ho Chi Minh City. The man who lived all day with the waves at sea did not expect that one day he would have to face a big wave in his family. He traveled all year round, then unexpectedly one day when he returned, the child he placed the most trust in left his arms the earliest, to stick to the wind and dust. Dung said, whatever the story was after that, the press would write it. Having broken his first love, Dung went to work as a tailor in Lai Thu, then met an older man, Sang's father, not really out of love, but because he needed money. That man did not know she was pregnant, and she never intended to let him know. Addiction torments Dung. It wasn't until the pain of giving birth that Dung truly believed that she was carrying a living being inside her. A doctor at Tu Hospital said that Dung was still in a drugged state when she went on the delivery table. A sick child. When born, baby Sang was tiny. The boy's fate and his departure without saying goodbye the day Pham Quang Sang was adopted by Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt at Tam Bin Orphanage, Pham Tu Dung did not know. She didn't even know if Sang was alive or dead at that time. The reason people found my parents' house is because in my distraught state at the hospital, I wrote down my real name and address at my parents' house. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't know what my child is like now. When I read that Angelina left the national flag on my child's bed and then hired a tutor to teach Sang Vietnamese, I burst into tears. Seeing that Angelina Jolie's family treats her child so well, I am both happy for her and sad at the same time. I'm glad you have a better life. But it's also sad, if only I hadn't made a mistake that day, and hadn't abandoned my child, now I wouldn't be sitting halfway around the world watching my child's life like that. I wish I could turn back time, I would do it again. I will do everything to make up for my child. In November 2011, Angelina fulfilled her promise to Pax Thien, taking her child to visit her homeland according to their schedule. Pax Thien is now grown up and has become a hot boy in Hollywood. As for Pham Tu Dung, she sat in a room that did not belong to her sister and looked thoughtful, hoping to meet her child once to apologize. No one gets to choose where they are born. For Pham Quang Sang, he does not have the right to choose where he lives. But fate chose to give him a fuller future, and no one knows what tomorrow will bring. So there is still a mother, somewhere in this life, waiting for him to grow up and return on her own to forgive the guilty mother who made the unforgivable mistake of abandoning her child. Born, like a long distance, white clouds will fly back. Even at that time, my mother's hair had turned into white clouds. As for Pax Thien, although his adoptive parents are famous stars, Pax Thien is quite introverted and does not like people paying too much attention. Every time he appears in front of a crowd, Pax Thien holds his parents' hands tightly and stands behind to avoid everyone's attention. However, later thanks to Angelina Jolie's love, Pax Thien gradually changed as he became more confident and mature. He gradually became a strong spiritual support for his mother and siblings. Pax Thien always escorts and protects her mother in all circumstances. Not only does she promote freedom in educating her children, the Hollywood lady also makes many people admire her because she always teaches her children to remember the source when drinking water. Even though he left Vietnam at a young age, Pax Thien always had a deep love for his homeland. Even to help her child understand her country in the most authentic way, Angelina Jolie also hired a tutor to come home to teach Pax Thien Vietnamese and learn about her homeland's culture with her child. In June 2021, Pax Thien Chin graduated from high school at a prestigious private school in Los Angeles, USA. According to some sources, Pax Thien once planned to study abroad in Korea. The school Pax Thien plans to attend is Yonsei University, a long-standing private university and also considered one of the 3 best universities in Korea. However, Page 6 not long ago reported that Pax Thien did not choose to go to college but pursued an artistic path. This surprised many people because no one thought he would think so differently from his brothers. He is passionate about art and games. Pax Thien is currently active as a young artist. At the present time, Pax Thien is a 20-year-old man with a healthy appearance and a masculine, angular face. He likes a sporty, slightly dusty, and dynamic style of clothing. Let's find out interesting answers to questions that many people are interested in and discover the magical journey of Vietnamese boy Pax Thien in the following videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next interesting content from us. Goodbye and see you again.